Hey guys, Huzz here, bringing you another video. Now welcome back to spectating pros that are not normally on EU West, that are now on EU West for Worlds. Today we're watching, I presume you say this, Blabberfish. He is the substitute jungler for Cloud9 apparently. And just to make it clear, because I've got the ranking over here for all the people that have come over. I don't know if it's got all the pros, but the person that's doing the best right now is a guy called Deftly. He is the AD carry substitute for Cloud9. Then CG Vulcan, and then C9 Blabber. So two of the Cloud9 substitutes are in the top 3 for ratings for the pros that have come over. Again, shouldn't be surprised that the substitutes are doing well because they're not scrimming or anything like that, or they're very unlikely to be scrimming. But today we're focusing on Blabber because if I'm honest, I was looking around the other pros. You know, people have asked, oh, let's say Sneaky, let's see that. Either they've not played a lot on the current patch, so I can't get replays of those, or they've actually had some pretty bad performances recently. So Blabber was kind of the big option, and also it's a cool pick, AP Shyvana Jungle. The video title could be very easily, does AP Shyvana Jungle or AP Shyvana do too much damage? And I know vaguely how this game goes, but I'm hoping, I've not watched this game before, I have an inkling that it's going to do a lot of damage. So I've played AP Shyvana a few times, and yeah, it's more than people think, and I think a lot of people get caught out by the damage. And you'll also notice the build is a Dark Harvest, so it's a scaling build. Now there is a couple arguments to why Dark Harvest is a great option, especially in this game. One, scaling build's always a nice thing, and if you look at the enemy team comp, there's a Lee Sin. So, is a Shyvana really going to be beating a Lee Sin? If Blabber went, I've seen people do summon Airy and stuff like that on AP Shyvana. You're not going to beat a Lee in the early game, so you may as well go for something that really has late game scaling to try and then just outscale the Lee Sin completely. As for comps, nothing too out of ordinary. I'd say the only, two things to mention. Is that a Shen support who is now dead? I wouldn't recommend Shen support too much. Because one, Shen as a champion is a relatively high communication standard champion. We've all been there. Oh, you're a Shen, I'm ulting in, and your teammate backs away because there's no communication. You're not on comm saying to the guy, I'm going in, I'm ulting you. So I'd be a bit careful there. Furthermore, Shen support, it's not a support, right? It doesn't have a scaling of support. It's very item dependent. The spells, yeah, it's got support spells, you could say. The taunt, the W, the ultimate, all pretty good. But scaling-wise, Shen is relatively weak without items. And then the other thing, top lane. Rengar, top lane, very rare to see nowadays. Generally, the only players you'll see playing Rengar top lane are one-tricks and mains and that type of thing. The game of League of Legends, no matter what you think of it, has moved on from that point. I used to be a Rengar top player back in Season 3 and 4. Yeah, the game has kind of moved on for that hyper-aggressive playstyle, usually. So, mid lane, Akali gets a kill. Bot lane, a trade happens, both AD carries go down, but the difference being Lucian picks up a kill and Shen picks up a kill, so you could say advantage to the blue team there. You can see in the top, blue team is already ahead, roughly 500 gold. Also, I want to say, excuse the wet hair, just come out the shower after my daily exercise. But yeah, pretty good. So, no Scuttle Crab has been taken, still not being taken, gank coming through by Shyvana, which to me is very weird. Yeah, again, backing out of it. Now there's going to be a potential contested Scuttle. Lee Sin, I think, is on the Wraiths. They do have vision. They just spotted the Lee Sin. If you look like here, they saw him kind of go that way. So this will give the Scuttle Crab to the Shyvana, which obviously is a pretty good thing. Remember, do not, take Scuttles if you're a jungler. A high amount of XP, but obviously, usually is a higher level of risk. So there is vision, I think, on the Lee Sin right now. He's standing on a ward. Shyvana just going to stop his base. Probably going to try and stop it again. And, with Akali also coming through, Shyvana, I don't know, trying to cut him off potentially, and that will be that. Again, why stop a base like that? A couple reasons. One, Lee Sin is an early game jungler. So when you're stopping him basing, you're also delaying him doing anything in the early game. So it's an obvious thing to try and do. Secondly, when people are basing, they've generally got a plan in their mind. Right, I'm going to base, I'm going to buy, I'm going to... And then you just disrupt, you disrupt their thought process. Yeah, it probably doesn't do a whole lot, but it can make people think. Dragon coming through, level 4 Dragon. On the first base, Shyvana did buy a control ward. And why is this happening? Well, very obvious. The Shyvana passive. Shyvana is the only champion in the game that actually gains an advantage, like statistically, other than just the dragon buffs, from killing dragons. We can go over it now. So we have Shyvana deals 20% more damage to dragons. That's why she can do it pretty easy and pretty early. And then Shyvana gains 5 armor and magic resist. Elemental drags defeated by Shyvana or her allies. That's weirdly written. So basically every dragon she kills, she gains 5 armor and 5 magic resist. So there you go. It's pretty nice. Oh, that's what it is. So Shyvana, she has a default 5 armor and magic resist in her passive, and then every single dragon she gets a 5 more. So yeah, that's pretty good. Cassio does get a solo kill on the Akali. That in a weird way is a very skill-orientated matchup. Cassio versus Akali. If a very good Cassiopeia can deny the movement of Akali with the W, yeah, she can wreck her, get a good ultimate. If Akali is really slippery and can avoid and bait out the W, bait out the Cassio ultimate, then the Cassiopeia will die. So yeah, a skill-orientated matchup indeed. You can see there is a 2-level advantage, 1-level advantage now. If I'm Shyvana, by the way, I would actually not be that scared of taking this fight. You know, a lot of people would probably be surprised with that, but with the amount of minions and the burst damage that already Shyvana potentially has, yes, without any items, I don't think Shyvana would have been scared to fight that Lee Sin with him being a level down. Anyway, as the game goes, top lane advantage Rengar early. That shouldn't be a massive surprise, because do you really want to fight a Rengar with Ignite in the early game? Not really. Why risk it? You know, it's the argument I've told you guys when you're against an early game champion or a Pantheon, something like that. In high rating, why would those guys risk fighting that? When you know that is really risky, they're not going to. They'll just give the advantage in the early game. That will frustrate the Rengar, because he literally has to get ahead, much like a Pantheon or a used to be Renekton, but it did get updated. These players don't risk. Right, gank coming through. Shyvana did miss. Really nice dodge, however, with a nice follow-up. And they will kill that with the Ignite. Rengar comes through. Kled ulting. Really nice Kled ultimate. Shyvana's going to try and focus on surviving. Does survive for now. Lee Sin looking for the Shyvana. Does walk away. That'll be a 2v2 for now. There might be a re-engage. Kled, if he lands the Q, could be on. He is going to go for it. Kled will pick up the double kill. Very nice. So what Blabber did, especially what I like there, is he did DPS. He did miss his initial E by the looks of it. But like I've said to you guys a lot, is he focused on survival. Don't die. Like, it's the easiest, trust me, whenever people say, what's the best and easiest bit of advice I can give you to climb? Don't die. Every time you die, you're giving, one, an advantage to the enemy team, but you're also hurting yourself, obviously, because you can't farm. You can't do anything when you're dead. So, it's massive. Like, literally massive. So there is a huge, nice little gank coming through. This should be a double kill for Shyvana. Nautilus, I believe, used the flash and missed it. And yeah, this will be a double kill, more or less. If so, yeah, there we go. So Kai'Sa didn't get it. So yeah, there we go. 202 Shyvana. But in the game as a whole, Kled is definitely caught up in top lane now. Even farm 2 kills advantage or 1 kill advantage to the Rengar. But look at bot lane. 67 Lucian, 41 Kai'Sa. You could argue, why is it that big? There is definitely an argument that it's because it's a Shen support. I know people will like Shen support, and there will be some people defending it, but comparing to a Nautilus that has support scaling, the advantage for that definitely goes into Nautilus's favour in lane phase. Yeah, Shen with getting maybe fed in the mid-late game might outscale a Nautilus, but in lane phase of a support, when you're talking about support scalings of what they can do, Shen doesn't have that. So the advantage for the enemy team, Lucian is a lane bully, has a Nautilus that's an actual support versus a Kai'Sa that wants to scale. Rengar looking for a little pick here, and don't think he's going to get it. That is actually a really big blow to Rengar, you know, kind of desperately looking for a kill here and not picking it up. That is rather telling that this desperate, you can tell, is frustrated. And like I said to you, picks like Rengar top and all these, they have to get ahead. It's the point of it. Kali flashes in the middle, gets rid of the Rengar ultimate. E coming through. Look at that damage. That's not bad. Shen getting a little bit caught out randomly. Don't know why he's there. Rengar going to get caught out himself. He does not have flash, so he will go down. And that will be a kill to Akali. Nice and free. There is a re-engage happening, or not. Lee Sin just landed a Q. Think they're going to back off. Kai'Sa in the river fighting the Nautilus of all things, and she will head back while Lucian is just getting more free farm. Nearly double farm right now is bot lane. So this game is not looking good for blue team in some aspects. You know, the score 5-9 looks great. Kill wise, hell yeah, but they're only 400 gold ahead when they've got 4 more kills. That's a bit weird, and it's because of bot lane. However, they do return to the bot lane, and they will kill the Lucian, which is, by the way, a massive kill. That is really big, because that is the one lane right now that is kind of going poop. So yeah, Dragon respawning pretty shortly, and yes, Shyvana will be heavily focusing that. Build-wise, she has gone for the Stalker Blade, just to make sure her opponent is slowed, to make sure her Fire Breath E can land. That is kind of what it's for. Gank happening, Shyvana ults, Lee Sin potentially getting caught out, does get hit by a bunch of damage. He does get hit by the W as well. Don't think a kill is on unless Shyvana can go for a Miracle E, and that will probably be that. Oh my god, Lee Sin walked into the Shyvana pool. So the Shyvana, when she's a dragon, it throws a fireball, but it also leaves a fiery pool that you can see. Lee Sin literally walked into it. Oh boy, and again, I will say this skin does make it hard to see, I will say. Because it's not like a distinctive, you see like at the end of her W, there's a distinctive circle that you can see. That isn't a thing with Shyvana's Fire Breath in Dragon. So you could argue maybe that needs to be for visibility, but that's a big mistake by Lee Sin. Oh boy. And remember, put it this way, Blabber right now is 1000 LP in Challenger. This game I think was played earlier today, so this is a roughly 1000 LP Challenger game on EU West. So it's a very high quality game, but mistakes do happen. And again, I'd actually say and give that Lee Sin the benefit of doubt. I think that was a visibility mistake. I don't blame him much because I just don't think he saw the edge of that pool. Because there isn't a distinctive circle like there is on most AoE abilities in the game now. Yeah, weird. I think they call it inking, by the way. If, you know, your character gets inked, the Shyvana W has inking around the edge of it. I think that's what it's called. And Shyvana E in dragon form does not have any inking. All right, gank potentially on. Enemy team knows that Shyvana's there. Probably gank not happening. Okay, with Cass being there, 100% there had to be enemy team. So you'll notice where the Shyvana E goes, or the ultimate goes, by the way. Really nice Cassiopeia ultimate. Nice E fire burn. Very close to being dead. High Cassiopeia damage there. But the Shyvana very rarely is ulting on top of people. Why? It's not the build. She is squishy. So don't risk the just free death. Oh, that's a mistake by Shyvana. Oh, she did hit the fire, to be fair. It wasn't enough damage to kill. And there is a 4 deaths by the red team. And that will kind of bring the blue team back ahead in this game. Rengar killed Akali. Lucian killed the Shen by himself. And then, obviously, the deaths in top lane. So this game has become a lot more even moving forward. And what I will say, the weakness of red team, definitely, is they are squishy. I'd say same thing with blue team. Obviously, the difference having a Nautilus, you know, he's quite tanky. You know, Shen is tanky, but without the scaling and enough items, most likely. He'll be tanky, but not as much tanky like a normal Shen is. Not like a top lane Shen, for example. So squishiness could definitely be a thing here. But obviously, as a AP Shyvana, that's a pretty cool thing because the burst is pretty damn good in the mid to late game. Alright, a bit more farming. So worth noting, Shyvana's been out farming the Lee Sin by a considerable amount. You know, enough to say that she is in, you know, the top 3 farming of this game. So it's very impressive. Straight on to the Rift Herald. So what could you call this jungle style? Well, to be honest, it's a bit of everything. So she's got both, the Shyvana has got both dragons so far. Is now taking Rift Herald. Has also been involved of 6 out of 11 kills. So honestly, it's just a very, very impressive jungle presence, you know. Rengar's sniffing his nose, trying to stop this happening, but the enemy team is far too late. Rengar, you know, Shyvana should probably base here, by the way. Don't risk the ultimate and just wait. Because if there it is, then you ultimate. So yeah, that's the perfect thing to do, because now Rengar can't follow you. Nautilus probably will die. He does also flash. I don't think the Shen saw that quick enough. Maybe their Kled ultimate made them want to flash. Is potentially a big play happening here. Kled ultimate's in. Really big E coming from Shyvana. Cassiopeia misses at ult. One more E would help the team. Boom! Triple kill! Massive E coming from Shyvana. And that will be a massive wipe for the enemy team. The only one staying alive is Lucian, mainly because he wasn't involved. Well, if Lee Sin does go down, which I presume he's about to. Massive damage. Like, as I said to you guys, does AP Shyvana do too much damage? I'm honestly on the... you know, if you're wondering, Huz, where are you in this? I've played AP Shyvana. I've played it against AP Shyvanas. We're watching an AP Shyvana. You know, you'll continue watching it this episode. Yeah, I do think she does too much damage. Now, the reason why I don't think it's broken is because it's one-dimensional damage, right? It's basically one spell. So you Dragon Ultimate, and it's the Fireball. That's it. You know, there is a bit of damage that, you're W swirly, but you never really want to be in the middle of a team fight as AP Shyvana because you're so squishy. Now, the benefit, obviously, and, you know, the squishiness, if you can get every dragon when you're playing AP Shyvana, well, then you're getting the resistances from the dragon, so then you don't need to build tank items. See how that balance kind of works out? Akali does die again. Dragon coming up soon, which obviously Shyvana will want, which is an infernal dragon, by the way. But yeah, I do think it does too much damage. I do believe it needs to get toned down, but it's partially balanced because, you know, it's not all of her spells doing dumb damage. It's mainly one, and, you know, that's it. It's one spell every 5 seconds, let's say. If it was, you know, 2 spells that she could spam over and over and over again, there'd be an issue there, but it's not. Right, potential play on. Ultimate straight into the Rengar. Think he'll get away, maybe, or maybe not, actually. Lee Sin go for a re-engage. Nice little thing there. Again, you do want to take a fight right now, a good fight right now, because the dragon is up, which then gives red team the priority on the dragon. The Rengar obviously can't be around. Lee Sin is around. He will definitely want to go for this steal. Here we go, folks. They're going to try and focus killing the Lee Sin. Shyvana E comes through. If he would have walked into the pool, Lee Sin going to go for it. Doesn't get it. Shyvana gets the kill on Lee Sin and the dragon. Nice play by Shyvana. Good try by Lee Sin. And Shyvana picks up herself another kill. Now being 8-1-3, getting the third dragon, which again, to remind people with her passive, is now, you know, the base 5 and 5. She's now getting a bonus 20 armor, 20 magic resist, and there's not a tank item in sight, and I doubt there will be. So again, dealing crazy damage. You know, for Dark Harvest, if there's a way for me to find out that, here it is. Oh, it doesn't tell me the in-game stat. Really? I'd love to know how much the Dark Harvest has done so far, but for some reason, unless I do that, here we go. There we go. So the Dark Harvest has done 550 damage so far at only 16 minutes. That is not bad. And again, that is a scaling spell that, you know, the Lee Sin, it sucks when you're playing an early game champion, because the Lee Sin is just going to see that gap getting bigger and bigger. Look at that damage. That is a strong Lucian flashing over. This kill potentially is on. Misses the E. A little bit too out of range. Now go for the Nautilus. Doubt the killer's on here. Lucian does flash out the way, though. Good damage return, and that will be that. So aggression play, obviously, on Shyvana. She is very strong, which, you know, when you're strong, you're going to be aggressive. But what I want people to know is how, you know, willy-nilly she is to ult. You have to ult. The whole strength of AP Shyvana is you just have to be in dragon form. So don't hold that ultimate. When a fight breaks out, ult straight away. I've played with AP Shyvana sometimes. Like the fight is ended and they still have ultimate. It's like you can't always wait for that perfect opportunity. And, you know, there is an argument that sometimes as an AP Shyvana, you do want to jump on people. In the middle of a team fight, not really. In a squishy 1v1 or a squishy 1v2, you can, because if you jump on somebody, by the way, you are dealing nearly 500 damage if you manage to jump onto somebody with the dragon. So that's bad. That's not bad damage at all. So if it's something like I know I can kill that person, yeah, probably jump on them. Rengar does get a solo kill, which actually is pretty surprising. Heals a kill, so there's the 500 damage. Gets the E off. Lee Sin in the area. Kai'Sa potentially going to go down. Now Lee Sin fighting. Probably just going to try and take the kill in the 1v1. Kai'Sa actually gets the kill. They do a return kill. Blab are going to continue. Will get the kill on Lee Sin. Nautilus going to go for it. Lucian is in the area too. Shyvana will go down to the Lucian. And there we go. I think potentially Shen ulted the Kai'Sa. She did get the kill on Cassio, which is good. But I think the Cassio dot in the end was too strong. And the Kai'Sa did go down. But that's not terrible. That was a 2 for 2, roughly. Again, technically a 2 for 3 if you count the Kled solo death, which I will say is surprising at this stage of the game. Akali going to try and go for the kill on Lucian. Does go down. Jesus, Akali damage. And remember, this is nerfed Akali. Well, no, actually, this is buffed Akali, because she just got buffed the last patch. But again, a very minor buff. It's just a little bit of ultimate damage. And remember, I don't think it was, you know, yeah, her damage might be a bit too high when a good player is in the hands of it. But I think it's more when it was like, you know, she has true stealth, she has a stun, she's got, it was like, it's just too much. Again, Kled gets the return kills because Rengar overstays. Again, very weird build by Rengar, has to be said. Not really seen that myself. A Death Dance Rush coming out. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that by a Rengar. Obviously, it has to be relatively good. The dude's a challenger in EU West, but just a bit odd. Farm continuing by the Shyvana. And yeah, so moving into the mid... well, yeah, we're in mid-game definitely here. And then going on to another objective of a mini Scuttle Crab. Kai'Sa does go down. You know, she's had a pretty rough game, has to be said. But hopefully they can just continue to be as useful as possible. Fight on here. Dragon ultimate coming in, boom, double kill instantly. So the landing damage of 500 with the E combined. Lucian is now being chased down. There's the slow into the E. He nearly one-shot the Lucian, by the way, everybody. Lucian trying to get the return, does get the return kill. High damage count coming out of Lucian. Remember, like I said, Shyvana is pretty squishy. No armor, you know, apart from her passive. And, you know, 20-25 bonus armor is not a lot to survive a relatively strong Lucian. But you can see the damage that Shyvana is dealing. That E on Lucian nearly one-shot him. You know, he was 3/4 health and he was on maybe about a 5th by the end of that. That was a buttload of damage. And, you know, we've got, what, 3 completed items now in Shyvana. There's a long way to go in terms of strength. So now Kled is finally, I guess, outscaled the Rengar, which, again, you'd definitely expect. Especially, you know, the way the champions work. Rengar is a burst one-shot champion, and he's against something with a double health bar. You know, yeah, your burst will get his 1 health bar, but then he's got another health bar. He auto-attacks you a bit when your burst is done, and you get Skull back, and then you can't win. That is a kind of, I'd say, an inherent counter to Rengar. Dragon up in 20 seconds, so surprise, surprise, where is the Shyvana floating around? Yes, she is near the dragon, giving the blue to the Akali, and again, to newer players, and I'm like, why are you giving blue to an Akali? Blue buff still gives energy regeneration, that your energy regens quicker, so it is not bad for energy champions, and there we go, not even smiting it, another dragon taken by the red team, which is every single dragon so far. I would say potentially look for Baron as like a, you know, a surprise move. Hex Flash used by Thingy. A Baron ping is happening right now. Akali's bot lane maybe as a distraction, and the Baron has been pinged. Baron, okay, don't think it's going to happen. It is being started. Rengar goes down now to the Akali. Lee Sin over there to the left. I think it's a bait. I don't think they're actually going to do it. We can see Lee Sin over to the left. 3 level advantage. There is going to be a dragon coming in with the nice Shen combo. Lots of damage. Nearly kills the Lee Sin and the Lucian. She survives, just like I mentioned to you guys. Survival is very important. Good damage coming out there as well. But the Cassiopeia doing a great amount of damage, and they managed to bully them off. Don't know if the enemy team is going to do this. Oh, nice snipe on the Lucian, blind snipe. And meanwhile, this whole time this is happening, look at bot lane. Akali is down there by herself, pushing. And again, Rengar has fallen off. Some people say, oh, Rengar is not known to fall off. He is in high rating somewhat. You know, yeah, if you're a Rengar, can get to the AD carry and just one-shot him, yeah, there's not really a counter there. But side lane Rengar, it doesn't beat much. It doesn't beat Kled. It doesn't beat Akali and stuff like that in this rating. Maybe, you know, in gold and stuff where things are a bit more random, possibly. But in high, challenger, hell, even in my rating, Diamond 1, Diamond 2, yeah, Rengar ain't winning that in late game too, like meta things. You know, just isn't. And that is, I'd say, the difference of meta versus non-meta, by the way. Alright, there's a play happening in it around the Baron, enough that the Shyvana is not waiting for full health, so they're running straight there. Akali's on the back foot, Nautilus misses a Q. I think the Shen went down again, potentially to the Cassio, so she is becoming a problem a little bit. Kled clearing a bit of vision, always nice to do, and we will resume. So don't really know what the enemy team was to achieve. Nautilus looking for it, doesn't end up going for it. Kled, I don't know, in a bit of a weird position, probably has to back off. And yeah, enemy team looking a bit aggressive randomly. Nice E, again, non-dragon E still does a bit of damage, using the auto-attack Q combo to clear out a ward. Don't even know why Lee Sin would do that. That was just a complete waste of money. And yeah, nothing right now is happening. Then, again, maybe a potential engage. Shyvana E coming through. Lee Sin match. Oh, that's unfortunate for the Lee Sin. He does land an E, but it was in the time that the skull kind of despawned. Now the enemy team's on the back foot. Lucian does go down. Akali in the mix. Shyvana damage coming through the back lane. Rengar in the bush will go down most likely to the Kai'Sa, and the damage now will continue. Kai'Sa now free hitting the enemy team. Not a great Kai'Sa ultimate, has to be said. But yeah, so that's basically what's happening in this game. The Kai'Sa now can start to having a bit of a better game because she's not really getting focused at all. The enemy team is focusing, obviously, the likes of Shyvana and stuff like that. Cassiopeia will eventually die. Her base, she probably could have kept running, but she will get 1 kill in the end, so that's not too bad. But that is an ace for 2 people surviving here on red team. So overall, pretty good. But again, you can see the squishiness from the Shyvana. Yes, the damage is high, but squishy. So that's the trade-off. You know, if this Nautilus was very accurate and managed to get pretty good picks on the Shyvana, she might not be able to do much. But one thing you have to give props to Blabber for, look where he's ulting. He's never ulting really, like we mentioned, you know, a few times, he's not ulting in. He's ulting to the side. You know, yeah, he knows, you know, yeah, if I ult on top of people, it'll do a lot of damage, but I'll also most likely die. So he's not really doing that. Lee Sin's biting off more than can he chew. He will probably survive, I'd say, but that will definitely open up the Baron. Oh, he's dead! Shen coming, ult coming through. They should just back off and go do the Baron. That is a really nice little kill there on the enemy jungler. Lucian looking for a bit of return damage, nothing more out of it. Shyvana on the dragon, nearly by herself right now, needs a team to collapse. Kled could go attack the Baron and get a skull up very quickly. This is a risky Baron, it has to be said. So you can clearly see Shyvana was wanting to do it. Nor does Mrs. Q. Rengar cult coming through. They're going to try and bait it, kill the Rengar, and then resume. Or is the enemy team looking to do Baron? This is a very risky by blue. This would be most likely easily stolen. Rengar ultimate gets baited by the Zhonyas. He will nearly die. This is still happening. It's a very big mistake if blue team wanted to continue that. Could be a Shyvana ultimate coming through this side to make a sandwich, pincer move. But in the end, I think everybody is just going to back out because things were crazy. There is an Infernal Dragon in 30 seconds. Will Shyvana have enough time to go back if she wants to? Not going to, actually. Gold-wise, oh, only has 300 gold. Okay, doesn't need it back. But there is another Infernal. There's another Dragon. That's more passive stacks, you know, armor and magic resist for Shyvana. More in Infernal scaling. Full red team. Oh, going for a kill. Again, look at that. So, does AP Shyvana do too much damage? She legit basically one-shot the enemy AD carry. And I know AD carries are designed to be squishy, but that is ridiculous. That's like a non... Look at that damage. It's a non... It's like a Rengar can one-shot people, but what Rengar has to do is put himself at risk, right? He has to jump on top of someone to kill him. What risk did Shyvana just take to do that damage? Nothing. She ulted nearby and just blew some fire. Where's the risk? There's none. So there is a split right now. That dragon is started by Kled. Oh, Kled takes a bit too much damage, and that will be a bad thing. Shyvana will probably not be happy about that. Again, she could have tried to do this. Lee Sin going to go for a desperate move here. Dragon has been started. E on the entry. Lee Sin on the side looking for this steal massively. They should focus on killing him. He will die, and that's a free Baron. So, yeah, they don't get the other Infernal. Kled must have made some type of mistake, but it's okay in the end. They do get the Baron. What they should do now is group as relative 5. They could group as 4, leave Kled to the side. But if they wanted to group as 5, with a Kled ultimate engage, with a Shyvana ultimate, I really don't see how blue team is going to stop that. It would have been obviously cool to see Shyvana get the clean sweep of all the dragons. That would have been awesome. But yeah, it didn't happen this game. Rengar, again, gets caught out and does have 8 deaths, which is quite a lot. But I've said it before, if any type of champion you're going to have a rough game, it's something like Rengar. You know, it's the champions that are designed to go all in. When you have a bit of a rough game, guess what? You're dying a lot. Because if Rengar doesn't jump onto people, he ain't doing anything. So he has to jump onto people. And yeah, you're going to die a lot if it just doesn't go well. Lee Sin misses a Q. That actually could be... Oh, misses the taunt there, Shen does. And if you look down in the bottom left, by the way, there is another Infernal Dragon spawning in just under 4 minutes. So that potentially could be on. Enemy team, oh, there's the dragon. Looking for a bit of damage. Trading the mid laners, which isn't actually that bad, because Cassiopeia has been a big threat this game. E damage nearly kills the Lucian in one. Kled, there's the ultimate that we've spoken about. Bit of a weird Shyvana play, looking a bit for the Lucian. Doesn't get it, but now they are breaking into the base. Shyvana will probably get one more fire breath before she goes back into her normal form. Boom! Look at the damage. And that guy even now has a Hex Drinker, by the way, to just survive Shyvana. That is what that Hex Drinker's for. That's not for Akali, that's for Shyvana. Rengar ult coming through. He is stacking on top of a Shen W, means his auto attacks don't go through. Shyvana will go down due to the squishiness. Rengar goes down. Lucian, by the way, in all this has been doing decent damage. Kled going to go for a bit of damage. Shen doing a bit of a weird flash. Kled continuing for the kill. Lee Sin will go down. Really nice Q by the Kled, and that will most likely be the game. So Shyvana is likely going to end 15-5-10. Stupid amount of AP. I can confirm she did do the most damage in the game. But yeah, what do you guys think? Does AP Shyvana do too much damage? You guys saw that she was basically one-shotting a fed Lucian. It was nuts. And again, this Kai'Sa, who we said had a rough game, finishes 8-3-14. So like we mentioned before, early game isn't everything. She scaled. She had a rough lane phase, but she scaled and ended up pretty good. But that's going to be it. If you guys enjoy, throw a like on it. And again, let me know what pros you want. And remember, some people have been saying, you know, oh, Faker and stuff. Not all the pros are here right now. You know, the Koreans, a lot of them aren't here. I will be doing videos of the Koreans when they arrive, because we'll be like, is there a noticeable difference between Korean pros and the rest? I don't think so anymore. I think they used to be a few years ago, but we will do those videos when they arrive, and I think they're arriving in about a week or so. But yeah, that'll be it. Like it, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you think about AP Shyvana, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.